One person that has been very optimistic throughout this entire stretch happens to be Jim McLennan of AZ Snakebit. We talked to him before the series even started, and now, hey, he's sitting right where he wants to be in Game 5 right now, possibly heading on to the next round. So, Jim, welcome into the show. How you been?
Oh, pretty good past couple of days, especially.
Can it continue? Can it continue to stay hot? Does that patience, does that discipline continue now in Game 5 tomorrow night?
That's one of the key questions. It's going to be a fascinating game. Obviously, it's a rematch of Game 1, where Yovani Gallardo pretty much shut down Arizona.
Well, he pitched the game of his life. I think, in my honest opinion, that was one of the best games of his entire career, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. The only run he gave up was the Ryan Roberts home run. He otherwise, basically blanked Arizona, kept us off the board. It's going to be a very interesting rematch because Ian Kennedy did not have his A game in that contest. There's no doubt about it. His performance, 4 runs in a little over 6 innings or so, not what we expected from him. So he's going to need to improve. That's as much of a key to it as the Diamondbacks being able to hit Gallardo. Is Kennedy returning to the form and so on, win 21 games this year.
Focus more on Kennedy because he is an interesting story. Obviously, being here on the East Coast, we know Ian Kennedy as a bullpen tail-end starter for the Yankees and not a very good guy. When did this kind of surge come on that he is the #1 pitcher for the Diamondbacks, really?
Yeah, it's certainly been a very pleasant surprise. Pretty much almost really since he came over from us. I'm not really sure why the Yankees gave up on him almost so quickly. I know he had various health issues. There was a blood clot and surgery and things like that, which did definitely impact his career. But he always seemed to us like he was kind of a serviceable starter. Though obviously in that trade, the Yankees did get Granderson, so I don't suppose they can complain too much.
Yeah, I was going to say it ended up working out all right for him, didn't it?
Yeah. That was one of those nice trades where pretty much everybody managed to get a piece of use. So it's as I say, it's not like the Yankees should feel particularly fleeced, but certainly, since he's come over to here, he's been steadily improving, and I think a lot of credit for that may need to go to our pitching coach Charles Nagy, who's obviously he's a guy who's had a lot of experience and a lot of success in the past, and like most of Gibson's coaching staff, seems to have a knack for passing those techniques for success onto the younger players.
So tell me this, how much faith do you actually have in Kennedy right now as far as tomorrow night goes? As starting Game 5, this is not just, all right, you're starting a game in the playoffs. You are now Game 5 starter up against Yovani Gallardo, who, like we said, pitched the game of his life during Game 1. Can he handle it, and how much faith do you have in him?
There's nobody on our staff that I think I'd rather see take the ball in a situation like this. He's won big games for us in the past. He's a very he's not just a hurler. His stuff isn't necessarily the most explosive on the team, but he does have a knack of pitching out of jams. I think that'll see him work well on Friday night.